7, actually that is actually your home button. Actually it's actually, if you see what that does, actually you have open multiple tabs and you want to come to home tab. So if you click onto the logo, it will reach to you, to the home button. So if you have, say you have open multiple rules here, okay, and now you want to come back to your home. So if you click onto the logo, it will come back to the home. Home is, you cannot close home. Home is actually always will be there. Home will be always available. Okay. Yeah. Next, actually we called it Designer Studio. So here you have most of the places, actually you will see it here. So here you can see actually for the different category you have different more rules are actually tools or everything are available. So while going through, actually we'll talk about more details on what are the different tools available here. Okay. Yeah. Next is your this is actually called as application menu. Okay. Here you can open the application rule. You can see the application scheme rule. Okay, you can create your own application, you can switch to different application, and you can switch to, yeah, what do you mean by switch to different application, right? Actually, if you have access to multiple application, you can switch to different application here. Okay, and if you have access to multiple workflow, actually I'll tell you all this one, actually now you'll not able to understand this, so just we can switch to the application and work pool from this application menu. And you have access to multiple portal. So currently he has access to one more portal, Case Manager 7 portal, he has access to that. So if you click onto that, it will open you one more portal. So here you can see the look and feel is different from the Designer Studio. This is actually for manager. So here he can see the dashboard, okay. He can see the my work list and my cases, calendar, reports, and other stuffs here. Okay. So I'll tell you actually how you can get this out, okay? And then this is the creation of new case or other type of category of the rule you can create from the create one. So gradually we'll see all that, actually we'll use that. The next thing is the important feature of Pega. Actually you need to use search a lot, because see, you are working on this window, right? And you don't know where your rules are there, if that rule is exist or not. So rule search is very much important in Pega, because if you have to look for that, if that rule is exist or not, you need to go and search for that rule, and from there you can open it out. Okay, and there is two type of search. Okay, before actually only one type of search was there, actually Lucene search. Okay, but they have introduced one more type of search for efficiency, because the number of rules are increased, so they have gone for full text search. Okay, so what's the difference of full text search? So full text search, if you say I just want to get a rule called as add work, okay, I search for it, so you can see that all the names only contain the add work within that. Okay, no applies to class contain the add work into that. So if you can just, it will search in the name only. It will not look for any other places. So now you can see you will get only this type of all the search here. Okay, and within that you can see contain, start with, exact match, all the things also you can check it out. All the contains, Okay, so here actually you can change that if you want to look for just name or within the all the content of the rule as well, and you want to look for rules or data or both of them, and you want to look for one place or all the applications within your system, so that you can change that from the search. Okay. And the another way which I told, the old one, okay, old and add work. So now you can see the number of actually it's increased. So earlier it's like some of the places where it looks like same almost, because some other things we need to look for. Like I look for agent. Okay. So in agent, if you can see if the class also names consent agent, it looks for that. So earlier method actually doesn't use full text search. Okay. And now actually there was using search before. Now they have changed it to full text search for efficiency. So if you give without old, it will just look in the name. And if you give with old and search, it will give you with the applies to class as well. Okay, so that actually was the difference in the search. Okay, yeah, and then you have the private. So private is related to the if you are making the changes the rule, you are going to make some changes to the rule, right? So first you need to take the control of that. So the rule you are working, and if you Pega provide a feature called it check-in and check-out feature. Okay, so within that we can have the rules which are actually I'm currently working. It will be show me in my private area. Okay, so we'll see that how we can show that, and then we have resources, all help, and will be here. So if you are actually working, and actually like if it's a good bad, you should connect with PDN. Okay, there is actually like a link, actually Pega Discovery Network. So that is the PDN. Okay. So if you have actually any other ID from Gmail or any public emails, if you have some company ID, register yourself in the PDN. Okay. So this PDN is actually very useful. Okay, you can get very resources, some of the concepts wise. Okay, you will get the details here. So it is a good practice. If you are going to want to work in Pega, register yourself in PDN. You will get a lot of details here. So if you say like the Designer Studio which we are talking about, you will get the details here. So what are the basic things? Okay. Yeah. So what actually feature in 6.3? Oh, it's not talking about the server anymore. Actually, this is little old now here. They have not changed it. Okay. So they have not updated for Pega 7. This is actually like Pega 6. Most of the things are there. So actually like it's not that. Most of the things are updated. Most of the things actually you can get the difference between the different version as well from here. So PDN is actually very much required. So if you are registered for the PDN, it will be good to start in Pega. Okay. Then we have help. Okay, help is also very much extensive. So anytime if you are getting any issue, we should take the help. So if you say like the Designer Studio, also if you like the complete things, the version specific will be there in that. So that is like complete header, you have landing page, application menu, operator menu, okay, work area, developer toolbar, and explorer area. What the purpose of each one of them? and then it's like you can see each one of them in detail also. So help is also very much that if you are getting any issues, if you want to know about something, refer the help one. Pega help is very nice and it will give you how you are going to do it. Okay. Next is your operator menu. Okay. So this is actually your profile, your preference, your access operator rule, your access group, and your favorites, and you can finally log out. So this is actually you can do from the operator menu. Okay. So this is actually your header bar. Okay. Then you comes to the Explorer area. Okay. And Pega 6.3 doesn't have any Explorer area. They work differently. Okay, the look and feel in Pega 6.3 was different, and in Pega 7 they have introduced all the new things. Actually, like earlier they have only Application Explorer and everything actually like your Record Explorer. So there are two things was there earlier, but now they've introduced the recent the Case Explorer, Data Explorer, okay, Private and Favorite. They have introduced all are recent in Pega 7 only. Okay, so recent is nothing but the rules you are working on. So if you like, if you say like C19, you can see C19 here. So the same rule will be updated here. So that's the recent rule you are working or recent work object you are working will be displayed in your recent toolbar. Okay, there is some option command actually like, which you can do the filter. So if you want to hide the case instances, all the case instances should be hide from here. In the case, actually it will display all the cases which is available in your application. Okay, you can create the case as well from here, and you can currently like we are not able to do it. When we'll create our own application, we'll create cases there. Okay, then your all the data which is available, we can see it from here. We can add new data type also here. Okay, and this is the Application Explorer. So here it's like we see the complete class structure for your application. Okay, and you can see any existing class structures as well. So from App Explorer, we see what are the different rules which exist in a single class. Okay, and the green leaf you can see it here. That is like is a class. If it is like it is a green leaf, that represents it's a class. Okay, Pega sample is a class. Customer request is a class. Data is a class. ENB is a class. So within that you can have more classes also. So these are the sample application. So if you see within the data, you have process and you have two more classes as well. Okay. Yeah. So you can see within that you have one more data model again within that itself. Okay. So this is your main App Explorer. So most of the time actually when we were working on an application, most of the time we'll work on the Application Explorer. Okay. Then you have records. So records give you the read-only view of all the Pega rules and also application rules also. It will give you the complete. So if you say how many rules are there in the data model, it all will be listed here. If you click one of them, all the like if you say all the data page which is available in the system, it will display all of them. So all the complete details you can see it here. Okay. Yeah. So same way we can open any rules and we can just review the same and we can work on that. Okay. So this is your records. Okay. and then this is the private. So this is the same as this one. So these two are the same. Actually, either you can get it refreshed from here or you can use it from here. So either way you can use it. And favorites, and actually like any rule which is actually like favorite for you, you can add as favorite. So if you say dpx favorite is my favorite, I go to the action tab and I click to add to favorites. Okay. So now you can see that this one actually like added in mine as well. Okay, so these are the your explorer area. Okay, actually like we'll cover more detail about this in future classes as well. When we start working, when we're going to create case, when we are going to add, we'll see more detail on all the classes. We are going to refer this the area. Okay, and these with Pega 7.1.9, they have introduced one more feature actually that we call as Pega Express, that I told, right? For business architect mainly we are doing it. So so they have given one option here itself. Okay, switch to express mode. So if you want to see how your application will be look like, so you can move to express mode as well. So you have limited options. Okay, here like you can see cases, data, and users. So you don't have much option here. Other options are actually for developer point of view, so they have not given that one. So here you can see that how it will be look like in your tablet, and you can see how you can look like in mobile as well. So they have given some of the dummy mobiles as well, like how it will look like in different mobiles. You want to test how your application will look like, you can test it out as well. This is actually look and feel for the iPhone 5. Okay. And if you want to go back to again Designer Studio, you click on again, it will go back to you the Designer Studio. Okay. So this actually feature is not there in the previous versions. Actually, before 7.1.9, Pega Express was not there. Okay, till 7.1.8, only the Designer Studio was there. Then you have this the work area. So you can see that actually like I'm already open many rules here. So home button is actually you can see you can the unclosable one. So that will be always available. Okay, as the first tab, and then you can open any rules there. Okay, at the max you can go for 16 rules. Okay, you can have maximum 16 tabs can be opened from here. Okay, and if you want to close all of them together, you have option to do it from here. At the end, you can see a accordion view. So if you go to that, it will show you all the open tabs, and if you want to close, you can close all of them. So most of the time, when in the future we'll in classes, we're going to work on here only. Okay, yeah, and the below you can see there is a toolbar. Okay, there are different depend on the type. Actually, like we are going to use this all the tools, and actually we'll have a separate session on specific on tools. Okay, so if you see tracer, tracer is actually your debugging when you are working on some of the specific tools like uh, activity, okay, or data transform, or you are working with the integration. Tracer used a major play. Okay, that is like will give you step by step execution of your application. So tracer is actually this. You should be working on tracer closely. Okay. Next is your clipboard. So what is clipboard? I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Just wait for 2 minutes. I'll be back. Okay. So what is clipboard? Okay. Tell me how you are getting this. All the names, which is actually recent tags, are coming, right? So from where the values are coming? Okay. Tell me how Pega works. Like that, you will understand one concept. How Pega works. How these recent values are coming. Okay. How, see, you are giving this all the values, right? If you click on the app, it's giving me all the values. So how these values are coming here? Can anyone thought on that?
While installing, is it part of installation? It will store our machine.
Yeah, that's fine. At least installed now. Okay, you have update. It's actually like, yeah, it's coming from the database. That's true. So if you say, if it will come from the every time the database, all the information, will it be that fast?
No, it will store in maybe cache
Cache, right?
or any
That's
session on
right.
our user.
That's right. I'm looking for
Yeah.
that answer, cache. Okay. So everything actually, like if you have the information which is actually you are seeing it here are in the cache. Okay. So that cache, how you will see the cache? Actually, if you are getting something wrong, okay, actually you are getting wrong details here. Okay, something actually you are seeing it here, it's some wrong values are coming. How will you see that? Why it's coming uh, wrong value? How will you see the cache? So that's the Pega provide the feature. Okay, so Pega actually clipboard is nothing but your how you see your cache. What is there in the memory? Okay. So if you say you are like the mainly like you say you have multiple threads for each word rule you are opening there, it's going to open a new thread so that you can able to work on that. So every time you open a new tab, so that it will be faster. For this, actually like it's going to use a new thread so that all the details which you are saying it here, it will be able to correlate with that. So if you say you have to save the rules, right? So if you say okay, like you want to save or delete the rule, it need to check all the dependencies, like if you are able to delete that or not. So for that, is it create a specific thread. For the Designer Studio, when you log in, it may create a standard thread. Okay, so that it will be called as standard thread. So here you can see now here personal favorites, right? I can see I have 3 rules now, right? So if you say this flow is not there in my favorites, right? Yeah. If you see this is not there in my favorite, and currently you can see in my personal favorite, you can see in the PX results there are 3 entries are there. So if you can see, this is the add covered, this is the agent bulk processing, and this is the DX recent page. If I'll add one more, okay, I'm going to add this into my favorite, add to favorite. Okay, I did that. So if you can see that my this page, if I refresh again the same page, it is going to give me. So in the runtime, what it does is it actually like check this out. Okay, so now if it will contain 4, it should contain 4. Detected. Yes, I want to add this into my payment as well. No, something got wrong. I need to just actually I'll log off and log in once again.
Is it refresh itself for some time or
Just a minute.
Refresh how to refresh?
Sorry?
I mean, now it is not refreshing, right? You have added that time.
Yeah.
Now
Let's see.
after
It was added.
why
Actually, yeah, actually, I don't know, but sometimes it's like this is actually like some refresh issues happen. So if I logged out, actually, I can see this is seeing that normally it's happen instantly, like it should run instantly. Like for recent, actually, like if I added recent, it was shown on the same time. Standard trade. So currently, like if you say currently, like I have not opened anything, so all the trades are actually only two trades are there. One my Cardinal gadget and only the standard trade. Okay. So you have your February. So within that you can see that you have 5 different things. So it's increased with the 5. We'll try once more. Now if you like my it work with that. The work history. Okay. So I'm just going to add that. Add to my February. Yeah. So it's you see now it's added here. And now if you go to the clipboard, okay, and if you replace the clipboard, it will show you 6 entries in this. Where was that? Yeah. Now you can see the work history is also added here. So whatever you do, it's like you see, like what you see it here, right? Everything that you like in the cache. From cache, what so Pega works in this way. At like it's first extract the values from cache and like from database put into the cache, and from the cache it will display it to you.
like here one question, Mukesh. Actually, first it will load into when we are launching. I mean, whenever we are opening new rule or whatever new tab, first it will load the value with cache, right? Then it will display in our page, right? Is that your something you are talking? Or,
can you come again? Sorry.
see, first, suppose we are opening one rule, right? Here, work history opened. So
Yeah.
first, from database, it is receiving data. So loading into a cache first, then it is displaying here. That's what you are trying.
That's right. That's right. So if you say I'm going to open one rule, okay. So if you say add covered, okay, this is my favorite rule. I'm going to open it. Okay. So if you go to the cache, so it will going to open a new thread here. So a new thread will be here for that one. So this is the trigger rule. So it started a common thread in the cache. From the cache, it picks the value and it will display it to you in UI.
Okay, that's fine. And one more question here is, like you opened and you closed it again. So when the next time you are going to open, right? So that time, so first it will check the cache, right? Whether it is this particular rule is existing in cache or not. Then only it will look into the database, right?
That's right. So if you see it, I'm going to click it once again. Right. So if I click it again, it will not open.
Yeah,
because the tag is
open
already open.
right?
Because that rule is already open, it says that the thread is there or not. And based on that, it will not going to open.
No. Add covered, you just close it from work area, okay?
Yeah.
You closed in work area, but it is in favorite. So when next time from your personal favorite,
it will remove from the cache also. If you close it, it will remove from the cache also. So if you want not get anymore, it will remove from the cache also, because if you say you have opened 15 rules, right? So it will stop. It will remove the cache instantly also. If you close the rule, the thread is gone. The thread is no more here.
So whatever the open rule in work area, that will display in cache, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So because see, actually, if that it will wait for when you are going to open it, right? It's not that. You closed it, it will remove the from cache. So cache management is very good in Pega, because you need to because without that the system will not work, right? Actually, if you keep maintaining all rules in cache,
okay, here one more question. Okay, so suppose you are updating something in this particular role. So when you are updating, it will update in cache. How is kind of batch process to update into database, or whenever we are saving here in work area, immediately it will update into database?
No, actually when you update it here, actually it will go into first to the database, and then in the clipboard you need to refresh it yourself. Whatever you are doing, saving it right here.
I mean, the cache is like a kind of reducing workload to the database, right? The main point is they implement cache. So here, each and everything, it is again going to database. So why is in between cache required? What is the exact advantage here?
See, it is faster, right? Actually, like if you say you want to save the rule, like I want to go to the load management tab, will it go for again the complete information to database to get it? No, right? If I go to the parameter tab,
Okay.
actually this is actually for the faster access. The clipboard is actually only to make it faster. Actually, like if you do the database operation anytime, right? It will be very like you cannot access it everything from the database. It will be very slow. A lot of database operation need to be happen, right? So if you go to the test case, it will refresh the test page. Now from the thread itself, it will not going to database and do it. It is giving you this information from cache.
So only time it is hitting database if you are updating, save as or update something. That time it will hit, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so this is actually like this concept is very much understandable, because see, actually anytime if you face any issue, actually like when you are displaying in something in UI, so you need to take into the clipboard. If it is there in the clipboard, then actually you should able to work on that. If it is not there in the clipboard, then you need to check your logic. Actually, maybe it's like due to that the values are not coming or it's not proper. Okay. Yeah. So that's the clipboard. Okay. Next is your live UI. So live UI, actually in the previous version it was not there. Actually, okay, with 7.1.7 they've started this live UI. Previously they have rule inspector, UI inspector type of rule was there. Okay. So and then actually they have introduced one more rule called as UI tree, but that all the things are not there. So they have combined everything in the live UI. So what is live UI? So live UI, actually if you see, you are seeing this, right? So home button. So in this you have multiple sections, right? This is actually, you can see one section. Okay, this is one section. This is one section. Okay. Now I want to add my name in this. Okay, guardrail warnings. I want to give, like if it is introduced by you, I want to give my name. Okay. So how I can do that? I need to know, oh, from where this is coming, right? So live UI make the life simpler. So this actually, if you can see in the, it's open in new window for you. Okay, I want to get the introduced by you. Okay, and I want to open the rule where actually it's changing that. Okay, so if you can see, this is the label which is coming in this. Okay, I made a private edit just to show you. Normally we don't do that, but if you see, now it's that. Okay. So here actually I can see introduced by Mukesh. And I saved it. Okay, and I'm going to refresh this page. Can you see the difference? It's changed, right? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So this is like the live UI. It will give you how the complete structure of your page is laid out. Like what are the different harness, sections, dynamic layout. Okay, how there you use that. So that you can take it out from here. Okay. So this is the live UI. So we'll talk about live UI when we talk about the UI concept. Okay. Click it once again, it will go. Then you have the performance and alerts. There are two more rules. Like when you have the performance issues within the performance and alerts, we'll talk on more detail on future classes about these two tools. Okay. So this is actually more of the things with the Designer Studio. Okay. Any questions on this? No, it's fine. So let's build our application. So in Pega, when we start creation, the first step actually like to create a new application. Okay, we'll do the new application and we'll begin from tomorrow from that. So to create a new application, you need to go to application menu, go to click a new application. Okay, so here we are going to create a enterprise application, create new application button. So you will get the, so application creation is 4-step process. Okay. So you can see A, application setting, B for business objectives, C for case type, and D for data types. So here, like what we do is like we have already set up of the some of the requirements we have. So based on that, actually what actually we are going to develop for which organization you want to going to do, we can set it up. Okay. So if you say we are going to create a purchase. Okay. We are going to create an application as purchase. So here you can see that where you want to create on that. So if you want to based on some framework you want to create, or you want to create onto the Pega rules itself. So based on that, you can set up that. So you have a lot of framework, And Pega provides a lot of solution framework as well. So if you want to, based on that, you can give that as well. So currently, like we see, you have soaping frameworks. If you want to use that, we can use that as well. So normally, like we see, we want to start with Pega rules, okay? And I talked about the framework, right? So if you say you want, actually in your organization, you have multiple divisions, multiple regions, and you want to go with that, so you can go with framework and implementation, okay? And if you just want to start with the framework and later you want to extend it to implementation, then you go for framework only. And if you just want to create the implementation only, you have other framework, so then you can go for implementation only. Okay, so let's see, we are going with framework and implementation. Okay, and if you like here, we need to give our company name. So if you say eGate, okay, like if you say we want to get the company name as eGate. Okay. So normally, like it's a good advice to give the 4 characters in the organization name. Otherwise, it will be truncated. If you give more than that, it will give you the it will truncate with that. So if you say it's like it's truncating to eGate. Okay. So it's actually like always good advice to get it a 4 character name, so it will be within that. Then you have some advanced settings. Actually, like there you can see some of the other things. You can application structure, what is the organization is going to create, division, unit is going to create. If you want to give your own name, you can give that own name. If you say you want to give the like yourself as the division, okay, or you can see unit name is some branch. Within that you have some unit is branch. Okay, and this is the class group implementation layer. It will be eGate, then the application and work group name. So that's the way it will be your implementation. And framework layer always creates with that organization name, FW, application name, again with add with the FW and work. Okay, so this is the when you are going to create the class structure, it will give you in the same structure. So this will going to create your organization and framework and implementation. 3 layers is going to create. If you want more layer, like for division, if you create division, it will create the. So if you say division name also come into the naming structure. Okay. And if you want the unit, you can see the unit also come into the implementation layer, and it will going to create the 2 more structures. So now it is going to create the 5 structure for you, 5 class structure: organization, division, unit, and then you have your work structure. And the framework is remains same. Framework doesn't change. If you can see, framework doesn't contain that layer. Okay, only the implementation layer contain the division and unit within that. So if I remove that, it will remove from the implementation layer from as well. So let's actually not use that. So it's like it's good advice to start with 3 layers, okay, and later you can practice or test it out with the.
So Mukesh, I have one question. Yeah, so yesterday when you have shown that different layers of that cake kind of thing, so there you have shown like on upon the framework we have like motor, travel, something like that. So we build our application on one particular framework. So in that case, why do we need to create all the classes in different layers? I mean, don't we need only one particular class where we can do all the rules?
Yeah, Shakir, actually your question is valid. Actually, like if you say, see, if you are going to use one class, that will become very heavy, right? Actually, like, because you are not just creating, you have to create the thousands of rules, right? It's like you have multiple application, multiple features, multiple processes, right? So to differentiate one of them to each other, so you are creating different classes. So whatever the things which are common in your organization level, you are creating in organization level. What are the common things between the different branches? So if you say, here we are creating just one division, right? If you have multiple divisions, so you have one IT, one cell, one branch, one contact center. Like you say, you can remember branch, right? Like a bank. Bank has headquarters. They have different branches, okay, and they have contact centers like call centers to get the details, right? So they have
Yeah,
different centers for the call center, different centers for branch, different things for headquarters, right? So based on that, actually for each one of them, you need to maintain it separate rules. The process is completely different in branch and process is completely different in call center. So how you're going to handle the calls in branch and how you're going to do that in there. So you need to maintain that as well.
yeah, that I got, but like in that case, we'll have to create multiple classes in one particular framework. But my question is, we are creating in different frameworks as well, right? We see here
No,
we are
no, no,
creating
no.
a class
We have
structure
just
in.
one framework. For application, see, that are actually like we are creating the division and there. So there we are not creating the application specific rule. There we are going to create the division specific rule.
Okay,
Okay.
but on the screen I see like class structure implementation layer, and again on the bottom I see class structure framework layer. So we'll have to create one particular class structure in any layer where we are building our application, right? Why do we need to create classes in different layers? Like,
Can you come again?
so like consider we are building our application on one particular framework. So in
Mm-hmm.
that case, we'll have to create all the classes, as you said, like in different divisions in that particular layer. So, but
Yeah.
I see we are creating classes in like implementation layer and framework layer as well on the screen if you see. So why do we need to create classes in different layers? I mean, of course, we'll have to do many classes in one particular layer.
Okay. See, layer is nothing but your class. How you are going to define the layers, right? Your layer is nothing but the class. You are not creating another class on that. So framework layer actually like doesn't mean that you are going to create a class. Okay, for the framework layer. So you are creating a class in the framework layer. So this is the class name.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So actually it's not that we are creating classes within that. So within that we are going to create our rules.
Okay.
This is the class only we are creating.
Yeah, yeah, I got that.
Got that now, right?
Yeah. Do we have another session separately for class structure and
Yeah,
all?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. We'll have. Actually, like I'm going to tell you once it is like our application is created, how these things are created, how we are structured. I'll tell you about that.
Okay.
So this is just for information. Application creation, actually, like it's creating by Pega. Actually, like in previous versions, it was difficult to create everything. So they have what they did it. They have customized the thing, and it's everything was created by Pega itself. So you don't need to do anything. The rule set, all the you can see that this is the rule set's name. Okay, so it's going to create
Okay.
your application name, all the rule sets. It will create from himself. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so if I
So
click
one,
back,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Actually, in the future classes, actually, I'll tell you more on this one. Actually, what is that
Yeah,
framework
yeah,
layer
sure.
class, how the class structures, the application has created as well. Okay. So if you say
Okay,
you just
one,
need to write
yeah,
some of
one
that.
last question.
Yeah.
So at the beginning screen, you have chosen like before this first step as well, you have chosen enterprise, right? On the drop down, what else do you have? Not, no, I mean,
Another one is for the business architect, actually for the Pega Express edition. You want to create
okay,
the application using the Pega Express.
okay, okay.
Okay.
So for enterprise, this is the method for
Yeah.
enterprise edition.
made the socket. Okay. So here you can see you are going to create a purchase case. Okay. And then so it will like you can go for a payment as well. If you want to go for like how they are going to payment as a separate case. Okay. And the next is your data type. So in the data type you can have customer, you can have address. So here it will be like we are just giving the type. Okay, we are not creating anything. It is just going to create the respective class for each one of them. Purchase, okay, payment. So that's like okay. So this is like it's going to create the respective classes for each of the data types. Okay. So if you say you go to the preview, it will give you the more detail on that. What are the rules it's going to create? We'll finish at 7:30. Okay. Today actually we started late, so it is extend the sessions for today. Okay. So here you can see that it's going to create 3 layers: organization layer, framework layer, and implementation layer. And within that, it's going to create the data layer and integration layer. Same thing for the purchase framework layer. It will be generic, cases, and data and integration. So here you can see that cases are there. Cases are not in the organization level. So similar structure will be there in the implementation layer as well. Okay. So here like if we created the data actually, right? 4 data, so you can see 4 classes are there in that. For each one of the data type, it's going to create a separate data class. And for the cases, we have created one case, so that's the purchase we have given. So if you can see the name of that, eGate, FW, purchase application, and work. Okay, so that's the case it's going to create on that. So there will be no data because we have not given any data class here. So there is a generic framework data class. So by default it will be there. Same thing for the implementation. We have implementation data. So this is the case in both framework layer and implementation layer. Okay. So once actually this is the layer wise the structure of your application. Okay. And apart from the layering of the class structure, it is going to create the access group, which I told, right? It's going to create 8 access group, 4 for framework layer and 4 for implementation layer. Okay. So we'll talk about this access group. So actually, like if you say administrator, access group is actually for developer who is going to do this. Then we have author. Author is actually for business architect role, manager, case manager, and finally your user role. So they are the 4 type of user. 4 access groups are created for that. Similarly, that access role name. Okay. So what are the type of access role they are going to use within the access group? It will be there. Then we have 4 operators IDs are also going to create. Admin at the rate of organization, like that 4 users ID will be created. Then your organization division and unit will be created. Okay. And finally like your work group and work basket. So all this are different rules will be created. You close the preview. If you are happy with that, you can click on create. It will create the application for you. Okay. So tomorrow actually we'll see how the application is created, what are the different things and the class structures for the application is created, and we'll talk about more details on inheritance. Okay, what is the abstract class, concrete class, some of the Java concept of the OOP concept, which is required for Pega to understand. Okay, so we'll continue with tomorrow's class. So we'll application will be created. It may take time, so we can stop it now, and we'll continue again from the same point how the application was created, and we'll log in with the one of the users which is created. We'll log in with that. Okay.
Okay. Okay, regarding that software for installation.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. So now if you can see that the application is created, 4 users IDs are created. I'll just log in and we'll show you that. Okay. Come faster.
What is the default password for this?
Rules, RULES, rules.
Rules for all the,
Yeah. Rules actually Pega move to the default password is comes as rules. Okay. So you can see that the first message, the first time only you will get this message. Welcome to your new Pega 7 application and start building your application. Okay. So we'll continue on tomorrow from the same place. Okay. I'll send you the links for that. Okay.
Hello.
Download the software.
Yeah, Mukesh. Hi.
Yeah. Yes, Ashok.
Mukesh, next class on Monday, right?